Two more people charged in a historic bourbon theft had their court appearances this morning.
People who frequent one Lexington gym will have to find a new place to work out. We'll tell you why. And you'll hear the reason why a woman intentionally crashed her car along a busy Lexington road.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4:30.
Good afternoon. It's a Kentucky case that has made international headlines. Today, we've tracked down some new developments in a bourbon theft ring involving some pricey merchandise.
Today, two of the people charged in the theft went before a judge. WKYT's Victor Puente was in court to break down what happened with the case. It's our top story here at 4:30.
10 people have been indicted in this case. After this morning, 9 have now had court appearances, with a pair of arraignments happening earlier today. Today was the arraignment for Mark Searcy, a former Wild Turkey employee who's accused of helping Gilbert Kurtzinger steal barrels of bourbon from the distillery. A second man, Dustin Atkins, was also arraigned today. Indictments say Atkins knew Kurtzinger through softball and sold several barrels. Police say Kurtzinger was the ringleader of a group accused of stealing roughly $100,000 worth of bourbon from Buffalo Trace and Wild Turkey distilleries. That included cases of rare Pappy Van Winkle bourbon. Kurtzinger and 4 others, including his wife, Julie Kurtzinger, were arraigned last week. At this morning's arraignments, Searcy and Atkins' attorneys entered not guilty pleas for them, and neither wanted to comment on the charges. The 10th person indicted is former Buffalo Trace security guard Leslie Wright. She was supposed to be arraigned this morning, but her attorney couldn't make it. She's accused of ignoring thefts that happened while she was working. Her case was pushed to next week. In Franklin County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
2 of the 10 people who were indicted have already pled guilty. Ronnie Hubbard and Michael Sean Ballard pled guilty to criminal conspiracy to receive stolen property over $10,000.
Police in Georgetown are asking for your help in a theft from a cemetery. Someone took a bronze plaque right off a monument at the Georgetown Cemetery. The caretaker contacted police today. Here's a closer look at that plaque that was taken. At this point, police are not sure when the theft happened. There was no other damage to the structure. Police have contacted metal dealers in the area to be on the lookout for this piece. A woman risked her own safety to help out a driver in need. This happened along Winchester Road, causing a major traffic backup. We went to find out what happened, and we talked with one of the drivers involved. She says that she noticed the driver behind her swerving, almost heading into oncoming traffic. At that point, she stopped her own truck in the road, allowing the swerving car to hit her from behind. The driver of the pickup checked on the other driver and noticed that she was having a medical emergency.
And she was very unresponsive. She wouldn't talk. She couldn't give me her name. She couldn't say anything, and the little girl, she had a little girl, and she was really upset.
Donna Lamb, the woman you just heard from, says the girl was about 4 years old and after the stop was able to unlock the car door. A Kentucky woman is offering a $5,000 reward for anyone with information that can help police find the person who ran her vehicle off the road, and it resulted in a crash that nearly killed her.
As Erica Coghill reports, authorities haven't been able to track down the driver, but Hill hopes someone out there knows something.
Elena Hale still has a long road ahead to recovery after she was nearly killed in an accident.
I just was saying goodbye to everybody because I knew I was dying.
Hale prepared herself for death while trapped in a smashed and burning car that was forced over a guardrail into the woods.
I kept thinking, oh my God, they're going to get over. Oh, you know, they're just distracted. But no, that wasn't it.
She was on her way to her daughter's house heading east on Salt River Road when she says a white car speeding toward her swerved into her lane.
It was just a second that I had. I swerved quickly to the left into their lane, and they still caught my back rear passenger wheel and knocked the tire totally off the rim.
She says the car kept driving as her SUV tumbled into the woods below.
Everything was smashed around me. The doors went open, windows went open, nothing.
Hale was trapped inside, bleeding profusely when she noticed smoke.
I was thinking, I cannot believe this person left me for dead.
It was a passerby who saved her life when he spotted smoke above the woods and pulled over to investigate. A deeper look through the trees, and he realized there'd been a bad accident.
He said, were both getting ready to get blown up, and he jerked me out of the car.
Within minutes of pulling Hale from the car,
All of a sudden, it blew up. Pieces flew everywhere.
she just dodged death.
I just don't see, though, how you can be human and not even report it.
Well, Hale describes the car that hit her as wide and mid-size with damage to the front passenger area. As for the man who saved her life, Hale has plans to meet with him next week for the first time since that accident. He is a former military member, and she calls him her angel, and certainly he is in that
Way to
case.
go.
My goodness.
Did the right thing there.
Well, if you thought that the work week has been rainy, well, we're not done yet.
That's right. Unfortunately, the showers are going to stick around into the weekend. In fact, there are some popping up right now. Meteorologist Jim Caldwell is joining us on this Friday to alert us to what's happening in the First Alert Weather Center. Jim?
And we are tracking those scattered showers and thunderstorms across parts of central and especially into eastern Kentucky here on this Friday. And that's going to be where we see the best concentration over the next few hours. And that's also where we have some of the heavier areas of rain as well. Here's what Defender looks like. We've got the cloud cover thrown on here as well, along with some of the temperatures. And you can see the impact of the temperatures because of those showers and storms. Like under the little heavy downpour passing through Jackson, it's now down to 71 there. Very muggy 71, of course. It's got that summer feel after a shower passes through, while the rest of us are still running in the upper 70s and low 80s as long as a shower or a thunderstorm has been passing through the area. Now we're watching a heavier area of precipitation, a little thunder shower passing right now into Flemingsburg. Remember earlier, if you're with us at 4, said this will miss Moorhead. As far as the heavy rain, it has missed Moorhead. It's moving more toward the north. It wasn't going to drift in that general direction, so we're tracking the heavier stuff now into Flemingsburg. Focus of the forecast as we move forward is basically what you've been seeing. More rounds of thunderstorms coming our way. Tomorrow into Sunday, there is a possibility as we go into Saturday and Sunday. Some of those storms could be on the strong, maybe even severe side. We'll take a closer look at those chances coming up for you here in a few minutes.
Jim, thank you. A downtown Lexington gym has now closed its doors for good. The West Main Street location of LA Fitness, previously Urban Active, closed at 2 this afternoon. If you are a member, you can still go to one of the gym's 2 other Lexington locations. No official reason has been given as to why the gym closed, but various concept drawings for the Centerpoint project showed the gym as part of that project.
For the second year in a row, volunteers are cleaning up a 1-mile stretch of Elkhorn Creek in Georgetown. About 20 volunteers from the Bluegrass Conservancy and Bluegrass Green Source are removing tires, toys, and other debris from the creek along Riddle's farm. Property owner Robert Riddle says most of the time he cleans up the 100-acre farm on his own.
I have to pick all that up. You know, I can't cut fields of hay with bottles and cans in it. It all has to be picked out.
All of the trash taken from the river will be recycled or disposed of safely.
Well, as we speak, hundreds of high school seniors are walking across the stage celebrating graduation in Fayette County. Lafayette seniors are holding their graduation ceremonies right now at Rupp Arena. Then Tate's Creek students will walk across the stage starting at 7 tonight. Graduation continues tomorrow at Rupp Arena. Bryan Station will get things started at 10 a.m. Saturday. That's followed by Henry Clay at 1, and Dunbar will wrap up the graduation ceremonies tomorrow afternoon at 4. So congratulations. School is out for a lot of students across the Bluegrass.
So there is time. And for parents looking for a few summer entertaining options, our Deanne Stevens is out and about today with an idea just for you. She joins us from the Breakout Games. Hey, Deanne.
Good afternoon, guys, from the Breakout Games located here on North Ashland Avenue in Lexington. This is a really cool concept, and I said, who put all this together? Jason Thompson said, Deanne, he's sitting somewhere locked up trying to break out, right? Very creative minds at work. What's the Breakout Games?
The Breakout Games is basically a series of riddles and clues that you're trying to find, and you're trying to break out of a room. Each room is a different theme. We're in the island room, and it has a theme, and you're trying to find how to get out.
Okay, so the concept is really to have folks come in, and they can do this as a family, as a small group. I understand you have people that come in as, you hope that they're problem solvers, team building, right? You use that for that, but it's fun, too. It's fun for them to try to figure it out.
It sure is. And the thing is that each game has their own game master that's listening and watching in a different room, and we give clues throughout the room. So if you get stuck, you just say, hey, can we have a clue? And we'll give you a clue. So it's fun.
Okay, I keep trying to cheat and watch. I mean, you know, everybody in here seems to know what they're doing. What do we have going over here? They're trying to solve?
So they're trying to solve a puzzle. It's a really simple puzzle to get them started. It's a map, and they're trying to put things on that map, basically.
Okay, and in the end, the goal is to get up on the boat from the island, right?
That's correct. And then you're trying to figure out how to get off the island by making everything work in here.
Okay, do folks need reservations in order to do this?
They do. They go to our website, and on the website they go to Book Now, and they just click how many they want and what room, what time, and they go through that process.
And check out the website. It's breakoutlexington.com. Come on, guys, jump on the boat. I mean, oh, sorry, we got to get Bart there. There we go. We got a lot of people trying to break out of here. There we go. Okay, check out breakoutlexington.com, and congratulations. Did we make it? Did we break out? Or do I have to go through the process?
I think you might have to go through the process, but we're really close.
It might be a while, guys. Check out breakoutlexington.com. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about, trying to break out. Back to you.
I think she eventually got out. All right. Some of the biggest names in country and rock coming to the Bluegrass to entertain racing fans. Miranda Lambert, Kings of Leon, and Green Day all headlining a new country rock fest in Kentucky. The Ni-Fi Festival will be at the Kentucky Speedway. Mark it down, August 28th through the 30th. A 3-day pass starts at $245.
For the first time in more than 7 years, actress Lindsay Lohan is off probation. A judge in Los Angeles ruled Thursday that Lohan has completed her community service in connection to a 2012 reckless driving incident. She was ordered to complete 125 hours in February, but just 2 weeks ago, she'd only completed less than 10. She reportedly just completed the remaining 116 hours in the past few weeks.
For just $100 million, Michael Jackson's former home could be yours. The Wall Street Journal reports that Neverland Ranch, California, is going on the market for that price. It's been rechristened in its original name, Sycamore Valley Ranch. The amusement rides, the animals like the elephants, all gone, but the Flora clock spelling out Neverland remains, as do the railroad tracks and the train station.
Well, this Sunday will be CBS News Chief Washington correspondent Bob Schieffer's final broadcast as the anchor of Face the Nation.
What a good guy. He's retiring after a legendary career in journalism that began when he was 20. Craig Boswell has a look back.
Thanks for joining us.
Bob Schieffer's about to sign off after 46 years at CBS News, 24 of them as host of Face the Nation.
I've always loved to talk to the key player in whatever the big story was, and time again over the years we've had a chance to do that on Face the Nation.
Schieffer announced his retirement at his alma mater, Texas Christian University, in April. Sunday will be his final show as host. He began to make his name as a reporter at the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, covering President Kennedy's assassination and the Vietnam War. He joined CBS News in 1969.
Today on Face the Nation, we knew you real political junkies would be up to join us.
Schieffer's respected by newsmakers on both sides of the aisle for his fairness and no-nonsense style.
Senator, if you didn't threaten to shut down the government, who was it that did? When a guy in my age demographic takes his shirt off in public, I gotta say he gets a high five from me.
And while he's looking forward to a summer off, he says one thing will stay the same.
Sunday after next, I'm going to be watching Face the Nation. I'm so used to doing this, I think it'll probably take me a while to break that habit.
The accolades are rolling in.
We are so proud to have called you a colleague. Really an amazing career.
But there's still an hour of TV left.
We're going to keep on the last show the focus on the news, like we always do.
A fitting send-off for a legendary reporter. Craig Boswell, CBS News, Washington.
And a real gentleman. CBS political director John Dickerson will debut as host of Face the Nation on Sunday, June 7th. Fun fact, his mother, Nancy Dickerson, was once an associate producer on that program. The Scripps National Spelling Bee makes history for a second year in a row.
A 13-year-old from Kansas and a 14-year-old from Missouri, both 8th graders, were declared co-champions last night. There weren't enough remaining words on the competition list to leave just one speller standing.
It's like such a memorable night, and I'm like, I won't ever forget it.
We failed many times trying to reach this, and then when we finally got it, it was just amazing.
13-year-old Vanya comes from a winning family. Her sister also won the Scripps National Spelling Bee. I'm not going to even attempt to say her last name because I won't get it correct. I think there's like 13 letters in it. So
we were talking about this in the newsroom, and we couldn't even pronounce some of the words they had to spell, much less know how to spell them.
I think Garrett Weimer said they should have had to spell each other's last name, and then that might have come down to it. So.
All right. Well, fortunately, we're not doing that today, but we know that you want to know what the weather's going to be like, especially this weekend. A lot of things going on.
Yeah, and tonight, like I said, Jim, we've got Relay for Life in Scott County, and I know those folks really need to know what the weather is.
They really do, as everyone out there will need it over the next few hours. And right now, we look just to the north of Lexington. Everything's smooth sailing for the folks there in Scott County, at least for a little while longer. And most likely, if we don't see a shower or two within the next couple of hours, it should be smooth sailing all evening long. But the folks out in eastern Kentucky, they certainly have some rounds of heavier rain still ongoing out there. Cool spots, warm spots all thrown in there today when you'll find a temperature at 70 degrees in Mount Sterling, 80 in Lexington, 77 in Richmond, with a shower passing just a little while ago. And these cool temperatures or cooler spots and storms continue into the weekend.
There's a collision at Corral and MLK downtown, also one at 3rd and North Broadway, and a wreck at Upper and Church. So we got 3 downtown at the moment, and a new wreck that's outbound Nicholasville Road, this one just before the Circle. And it looks like traffic's backing up Southland Drive from Central Baptist all the way out to the Circle right now because of that wreck. Now back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Don. To become a WKYT Live driver and download the Waze app, just go to WKYT.com. Under the News tab, click on Traffic for more information. We have some video of a burning car rescue, a really big boat, and some playful baby bears.
It is the video that will have you talking. Take a look at this. A Wisconsin sheriff's deputy saved a driver's life by pulling him from his burning car. Police say the man was dazed and refused to get out. Finally, the deputy yanked the man out by his belt. The driver was treated at the hospital and then treated to stay in a jail for intoxication charges.
Wow. Okay, this is a boat. A Florida yacht dealer plans to build this 656-foot mega yacht named the Double Century. It includes room for 2 helicopters, multiple swimming pools, a theater, 8 decks, and a garage for a submarine. The going price for this city on the water is about $750 million. So $750 million. The dealer says the ship can be built in about 4 years once a buyer is lined up. Amber's going to put her name right there at the top.
I think I don't have a submarine, so
okay. And you only have 1 helicopter.
Right, yeah. And finally, take a look at these 2 playful bear cubs. This video showed up on the Department of the Interior's Vine page. They were caught play fighting in Yosemite National Park in California. That is something cute on this Friday afternoon.
But where is Mama?
Oh, probably not far away.
Don't want to mess with that. Okay.